Man, looking for a minute.
In January 2015, a group of New Zealand film students were recording outside their school at Auckland's Parnell railway station. The footage you're seeing now was recorded by a student named Chris Meir. For a few minutes, Chris and his friends were messing around and having fun as they filmed. But that's when the group spotted a man and a woman wearing creepy white masks hiding in the tall grass next to the station and staring ominously at the camera.
Excuse me. Well, even though I would never put myself in a position for niggas to do this to me, if like in this situation right here, either you up him or you running. Or you can just lollygag yourself around. Hey, maybe them niggas don't do nothing. Maybe they're just trying to scare you. Maybe it was a prank. I don't know.
As it was later revealed, Chris and his buddies first thought that the masked people were probably pranksters from the school trying to creep them out, which is why they can be heard laughing throughout the footage. However, the students later confessed that it was more so nervous laughter and that they were actually pretty terrified during the encounter. Disturbingly, looking at the footage, they noticed that the couple appeared to be armed. In some of the clips, it looks like one of them is holding a pistol.
Where's the other one? Where's the other one?
Hey, y'all niggas are still around there. Y'all seen them. Y'all don't want you still around. Cause some shit happen. Some shit fuck around. They fuck around up on you. They fuck around up on you, nigga. That's your fault.
As soon as the suspects got a little too close for comfort, the group ran back to the main road, after which they reportedly saw a police chopper approaching the area of the incident. It's not entirely clear who called the cops that day, but based on my research, this wasn't the first time the couple had harassed the public with their creepy masks and weapons. Earlier that week, they had terrorized a woman at Auckland's Domain Park, but left before the police were able to arrest them. When the cops arrived at the train station, Chris and his friends gave them the report, after which the Auckland Police Department uploaded a Facebook post where they urged the suspects to come forward and warned civilians to stay far away from the masked couple if they saw them. They also cautioned that if they saw someone carrying what appeared to be a weapon, they had no way of knowing if the weapon was real or fake and would be forced to approach the situation as if it were real. Shortly after that, the suspects reportedly came forward to talk to the cops. Throughout the investigation, the authorities didn't release a whole lot of information to the public about who these people were, whether their weapons were real, or what their intentions were. But one thing we know for sure is that this wasn't just an innocent prank. In fact, when a lot of people online started accusing the students of staging a prank just to get attention, a spokesperson from the school came forward to clarify that the masked suspects had nothing to do with the institute. According to an article from Vice, the police spokesperson later confirmed that the weapons were fake. But I wasn't able to find any official confirmation of this, and to this day, not a lot of people know who the suspects were or why they were terrorizing the public for no reason. Whatever the case, it's a good thing Chris and his friends were able to get away before things took a turn for the worse. Near the base of Mount Fuji in Japan lies a forest that's known among the locals as the Sea of Trees. Interestingly, the entire forest grew out of a 30 square kilometer patch of hardened lava that was laid down by the last major eruption of Mount Fuji. A little more disturbingly though, over the years the Sea of Trees has become known as a place where people go to take their own lives. And if you venture far enough into the forest, it's not uncommon at all to find a body. Near the entrance of the forest, a sign written in Japanese reads, "Quietly think once more about your parents, siblings, and children. Please don't suffer alone, and first reach out." In July 2017, urban explorer and YouTuber Burbex ventured into the forest to see what he'd find, walking his viewers through his entire journey into the Sea of Trees. But even though the video starts out tame enough, just a few minutes into his exploration, the uploader comes across an abandoned bike, and that's when things get a little disturbing.
I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already found an abandoned bike. It's actually a pretty nice bike. Let's take a look at it.
This shit look brand new. Nigga just got that bitch out.
I don't think it's been here a long time. What do we got in here? And there's a packet for a knife. I think I've just found some kind of note in a bag. It says 1211. I can't quite make out. I think this is somebody's name just here, and I'm not sure what this means.
On top of the bike, Birbex finds an empty piece of packaging for a kitchen knife, and a few minutes later, he comes across a note written on a plastic bag. The note translates to 1211 verified, Fuji Yoshida Police Station verified, meaning it's likely evidence of someone who abandoned their stuff to take their own life in the forest, confirmed by the local police station. It's incredibly haunting to think how many lives have been lost in that forest over the years, and even more disturbing to think that any random passerby could easily find the body while exploring the terrain. Over the years, the Japanese government has implemented several measures, such as placing security cameras near the entrance to track those who walk inside, as well as training volunteers to talk to the visitors who are thinking of taking their lives. Still, this hasn't stopped people from following through with it, and the fact that the media has really played a big part in sensationalizing the forest in recent years hasn't helped either. In early 2023, a man named David Meredith was taking his usual evening stroll through his neighborhood in Red Deer, Canada, when he suddenly saw a bull moose eating next to a tree. Hoping to catch a better glimpse,
You know one thing, bro? I can never understand suicide, bro. Like, bro, you can't find nothing. You don't work for nothing. You don't want to be nothing. You just want to die, bro. I feel like if you feel like you don't got nothing, then make something. If you lost what you did have, then find something else to get. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like, nigga, that's like the biggest way to give up in your fucking life. You just give up. I don't know. That just ain't me.
behind the tree to watch. And that's when the moose turned around and started charging at him. To understand how incredibly dangerous this is, keep in mind that an adult male moose can run faster than 35 miles per hour, which is almost twice as fast as the max speed for the average human male. Even though moose aren't generally aggressive, they can easily trample and kill a human if they feel threatened, which is probably what happened here. Fearing for his life, David hoisted himself up the tree next to him to avoid getting stabbed by the moose's antlers.
I won't phone no moose either, I ain't gonna lie.
He just ran me up a tree.
As soon as he was out of the moose's reach, he started recording. For about 30 seconds, the moose just stares at David, and you can hear the uploader's nervous breathing as he waits for the moose to leave. But shortly after, the moose starts charging back and forth with its head down, which is a clear sign that it's stressed and would probably trample David if he were to come down or fall from the tree. Based on what he mentioned to the news station that interviewed him a couple of days later, David stayed in the tree for over 10 minutes waiting for the moose to leave him alone. When asked how he climbed up the tree, he demonstrated how he pulled himself up by a flimsy-looking branch, which is honestly one of the most concerning parts of this whole situation. That branch breaks, and David would have been at the mercy of a very angry moose and might not have lived to tell the tale. Luckily, after seeing that David wasn't coming down, the moose finally...
He would have been alright. Just trying to make sure he don't forget his car payment, bro. When I get him down, Hey man, I forgot to tell you about your car extended warranty. You come on down, we should talk about this. And then that's why you just stared at him. And then he's like, bro, you don't want to talk or something? Like, if you don't want to talk, then say something. So he got mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm trying to say is, you know, maybe the Moose had greater intentions.
Gave up and ran off, thanks to which the uploader was able to come down safely after waiting it out for around an extra half hour. In February 2018, a man named Greg Harris uploaded a GoPro video of himself riding his ATV on an unnamed trail. For the first few seconds, the footage shows pretty much exactly what you'd expect from this kind of upload. But in the blink of an eye, something extremely disturbing interrupts Greg's ATV ride.
What just happened?
If you didn't catch it, someone had set up a metal wire between the two trees, which got caught in the uploader's helmet and forced him to stop. It's pretty disturbing to think that if Greg hadn't been so lucky, he could have been decapitated by the wire. Fortunately, as mentioned in the video description, his speed along with the wire hitting his helmet instead of his neck caused it to break as he passed through it. It might seem shocking that anyone would even think of doing something as incredibly evil as setting up a lethal booby trap.
That's wild, bro. That gotta be one of your neighbors, bro. That nigga he been hating hearing that shit, bro. Nigga hear you ride your ATV every day. That nigga not like that shit. He trying to kill you, bro.
Trap in the middle of an ATV trail, but sadly, it's actually pretty common in the dirt bike and ATV.
That's like actually kind of crazy though. Imagine you just riding your dirt bike. Next thing you know, nigga, you in heaven. Some niggas have a fucking wire. Just going through. But they said that shit hit his helmet though. Helmet. Imagine he didn't have that fucking shit on. The nigga brain matter would be all on the fucking grass for all of us to see.
Community. Sometimes these wires are set up by people trying to keep bikers off their property. Others are set up by psychos who get irritated by the noise and decide to use violence to fix the issue. And the rest are set up by people who are just messed up in the head and want to bring harm to others for no reason. In this case, it's impossible to tell who is responsible for setting up the trap. This is just one of those videos where if the wire was set up just slightly lower, the accident could have easily been fatal. Luckily, he was able to walk away with minimal injuries, and he used his video as a way to warn others to watch out for these kinds of traps, especially when riding through trees. Back in the summer of 2014,
from that point on, bro, you will only see me in open areas. You will not see me riding near no tree again.
a man named Chris was biking in the mountains near Fernie, British Columbia, when he suddenly noticed what appeared to be an animal approaching him in the tall grass. Immediately, he realized it was a mountain lion, and that's when he started recording.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a mountain lion. He's crouching in the grass. He's actually coming toward.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why niggas like this meet up on disturbing forest encounters caught on camera. It's because these niggas will see this shit and then record it. But keep in mind, you gotta think about it. Come on, bro. You gotta think about it. He's dead ass watching a mountain lion crawl towards him. And he in his bright mind, man, this would be perfect for Snapchat. That's what the fuck he did. I'm just saying, bro. It only happens to certain people for certain reasons. And most of the time, this shit probably could have just easily been avoided. Unfortunately, niggas like to record things. Niggas like to do everything. Niggas like to do everything but to leave.
Towards me.
Like, come on, man.
At first, it's kind of hard to see where exactly the animal is, but as Chris walks towards the
That shit
trail,
right
you can see it
there.
emerging from the grass,
That shit.
coming closer.
Why are you walking towards it? This nigga hungry. He probably hasn't eaten in days, and he sees a nice, delicious sack of meat in front of him right now.
That is a mountain lion.
And that's the shit he says. You know it's a mountain lion. You been through this. You said you think it was when the video first started. Now this nigga in your face, you see him and you still just recording him. He walking towards you for a reason, bro. And it ain't to dap you up.
And he's stalking me.
Even though mountain lion sightings are rare, they have been known to attack people in certain situations. And let's just say, if you see one stalking you in the tall grass, slowly approaching as it stares you down, you can be pretty certain that you're in danger. About 2 minutes into the footage, the lion starts walking a little faster, and Chris does the one thing you never do with a mountain lion by turning his back and
I'm about to say, this nigga turned around. Oh my lord. Turning around and running, that's the shit they want you to do. They're beating for you to do that shit. He in the grass. He like, watch, this nigga just in the grass stalking. I'm gonna make this nigga run. Right when you do that shit, he on your ass. He on your ass. All you gotta do is stay home, hop on 2K, play you a couple games of rec. Nah.
starting to run.
At that point, you gotta fight that nigga.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice
I
to
gotta
see
say
you.
that motherfucker update.
I am much bigger than you.
I don't mean shit to
Over
that
the next
nigga.
couple of minutes, Chris tries to get the animal to go away, but it only walks around him and continues to stalk him, staring him down in the tall grass near the entrance to the woods. A couple of minutes later, the uploader manages to take a few steps toward the main trail back to his car, but he doesn't get too far before the mountain lion cuts him off again.
Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
Fortunately, after a few moments of tension, the mountain lion turns around and disappears into the trees. Being in a position like that has to be downright terrifying, especially when you consider that the
That nigga walked away. Anyway, say, bro, I hope you got something in your hands right now. Something. I hope you got a stick or some shit, like a fat ass. I know you in the woods. You can find a fat ass stick somewhere. You can break that bitch off a branch. And yeah, nigga, as long as that bitch got an end, I can stab you with it, nigga.
the only reason the lion didn't attack was because it didn't want to. And had it felt more threatened, it easily could have done some serious damage. Thankfully, it was just a close call and Chris was able to walk
Nigga,
away
you
from the
feel threatened. That
terrifying
nigga hungry.
encounter unharmed.
Look at how skinny that nigga is.
In March 2019, a 5-year-old
Nah, it ain't
girl from
working.
Fair Lawn, New Jersey was playing with her friends near a creek in a wooded area behind their home right off Route 208. This was an area the family knew very well, as they'd been living there for 13 years, and the girl's father, Dave Kuroda, and his wife felt completely safe letting their kid play in the woods behind their house. But at some point during that particular afternoon, the girl came
After I heard in the woods behind the house, I already knew which direction this was turning.
across a pile of clothing in the woods, after which she immediately ran back to tell her dad what she had found. Strangely, the clothes appeared to have been cut off a person's body, and there were suspicious red stains all over the tattered, shredded outfit. After confirming the bundle consisted only of women's clothing, Dave called the Bergen County Sheriff's Office and reported the incident, feeling like it was just too out of the ordinary for a random pile of cut-up clothes to appear near the entrance of the woods so close to his home. Even though this was the first time their daughter saw the clothes, it appeared they had been in the woods for several months, which explains some of the excessive wear and tear, but not the suspicious cuts and stains all over the outfit. Immediately, Fair Lawn police started asking the public if they could identify the clothes, hoping that it was just a prank rather than something more sinister. Unfortunately, nobody came forward, and until the clothes can be linked to some sort of crime or to a victim, they can't be accepted for testing by the police department. To this day, the cops from the Fair Lawn Police Department haven't been able to match the clothing to anyone in particular. And at this point, all we can do is hope that whoever those clothes belonged to did not come to the harrowing fate that the dark reddish stains imply.